Hello, friends, and welcome back to our daily women's devotional. I am loved, edited by Carolyn Rathbun Sutton. Today is August 13, and the title of our devotional is No Do-Over, written by Penny Estes Wheeler. The Bible verse is found in Psalms chapter 19, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Penny writes, Our week in Israel was almost over. We'd seen a tomb with a heavy rolling stone like the burial place of Jesus. We saw olive trees and flocks of sheep on hillsides. In Jerusalem, I made my way through crowds of people so I could touch the western wall, where I prayed briefly for my children. And I'll always remember floating in the Dead Sea, a wonderful experience. But now our trip was about to end. Today we were in the old city of Capernaum to see the ruins of the home of the Apostle Peter. My husband and son were walking around the area, but I had stayed near the ruins, pondering that Peter had actually lived there. My mind wandered as I took another step, and my foot connected with nothing but air. Much quicker than it takes to tell, I flew forward, landing on my left side. The pain was incredible. Someone called an ambulance. The ride to the hospital was agony. At last, I lay still in a bed. Then came x-rays and eventually surgery. Twice, we rebooked our return flights at great expense, for I spent 9 days in the hospital. Despite good care, oh, how I wished I had watched where I stepped. Again and again, the thought came, this is one time you don't get a do-over. I longed to go back in time to the moment before I took that last step. I would look at the ground. I would look at my feet. I might even have my husband hold my arm. For sure, I would not fall. After I had surgery in Israel, I began to heal. I also had a long time to think. If you burn a batch of cookies, you can make more. If you hate the color you've chosen for your bedroom wall, you can paint over it. If you decide you don't want the blouse you just bought, you can probably take it back. These situations are inconvenient, but they are flexible. But not so in other situations. Angry or sarcastic words cannot be taken back. Neither can gossip. As much as we long for a do-over, what's done is done. Apologize? Of course. But like my surgery and partial hip replacement, the pain can linger on. And so I make a new commitment to think before I speak. I want to consider the effect my words may have on the person who hears them or the one whom I'm speaking about. I don't want the pain of not being able to have a do-over. Penny Estes Wheeler, a displaced Texan, loves traveling almost as much as her kids and grandkids. She considers her visits to Israel and Australia trips of a lifetime, and she'd go again in a heartbeat. But more of the world beckons her from her home in Maryland, United States of America. Now, whether we do it on purpose or on accident, intentional or mistakenly, our words can hurt other people. Maybe we're just telling a story that somebody else told us. If it's not our own, then maybe we shouldn't be saying it. We need to think, what would Jesus do? Actually, what would Jesus say? Did Jesus ever talk about somebody behind their back? Did he ever gossip? Or was he very watchful on the words that he said and knew how they affected people? Our words can bring death or life into somebody's life. I hope that you're blessed, you enjoyed today's devotional, and I will see you again tomorrow.